The other thing we had talked about just a little bit later is like hierarchy, which is that big word, but really all it means is drawing attention to the correct things with your photos, with your pin designs. So we can do that by not keeping things cluttered. We can use that by trying to focus, you know, feature like fonts. We can increase the weight on them, make them bolder, use colors to really draw the eye into keywords. Those are all ways that we can work with hierarchy, where we place the text, like we had talked about that too. And then one of the other things that's huge to me is like giving your image or your design room to breathe. And when I say that, it goes back a few years ago. I invested because I love photography. It's like my guilty pleasure. And I
Right.
took some workshops up in Maine. It was like it's very Maine style. They're like, leave your family, come with us for a week. You talk to no one, and we just work on photography. It's like what we do here. It was awesome. And so the instructor that I had at the time talking about composition was like, guys, you are focusing too much. Like give it room to breathe. You're boxing it in. Like let us see the whole design. And so often with pins, I hear that when I look at things because people are so excited about making their fonts big enough to read, but they're increasing them so much that they're like maxed right out to the side of the design. And it's like there's no space, right? It's just like everything's maxed.
Mm.
And it just doesn't have room to breathe. So we don't necessarily, in highlighting those things, like trying to get the font as big as possible, we can be sacrificing composition. So
Mm.
it's that balance of things, and that's one of my things, especially because when we upload images to some degree, like Elisa said earlier, stay away from the corners because they're a little rounded, right? They're
Right.
cropped a little, and I've seen many times when people come in and their text on the top is like right to the edges, and then it's rounded, and you can't even read all of it. So
Mm.
composition in that way too, like give it room to breathe.